Orchid Essentials I see as a beacon of light in an industry that's coming out of prohibition and seeking that global acceptance from consumers across the world. For the first 2 years of business, we focused on creating a foundation. That foundation was the brand Orchid Essentials. We really wanted to develop the Procter & Gamble of the cannabis space. And so when we created the brand, we created something that was not only likable by the mass market, but was something that could be carried across borders, something that would work well on the global market and work well in the national market, not just in one niche. The overall differentiator with the hardware itself is the user experience. Having a self-encompassing vape device that you just pick up and go is something that we see where the future is really going. I had a desire to come into the cannabis space and create the first mass market brand that I could spread globally through licensing, through contract manufacturing. Our most recent acquisition, we just entered into a definitive agreement on for a company called Green Bloom Cannabis Company. This will create not only one of the most cash flow positive companies within the cannabis industry, but this cash flow will also allow us to continue to make very smart acquisitions without having to take on a bunch of very expensive capital. Right now we're in an accelerated growth strategy. We're going to be launching over 6 new brands in the remainder of 2019, as well as launching into several new states. Right now we are in California and Oregon, with plans in the next few months to launch into Nevada, Colorado, Washington, and Michigan. In Q4 of 2018, we added 90 retail locations, and so far in 2019, we've added over 75 retailers in California, taking our total to over 350 retail locations where Orchid Essentials is sold in. And the best way to see the effect of Orchid Essentials and the impact it's had is to go into a retailer and hear their thoughts on it. The Circle is an amazing new store here in Long Beach, and a store that I feel is the future of cannabis retail. As you see, it's very similar and in alignment with our brand, all about the customer experience.
The brand has been flying off the shelf. It's the best-selling brand of cartridges that we carry here at the Circle. The quality of the cartridge and the hardware is second to none. The terp profile is amazing. It's got upwards of 15% terpenes in the cartridge, which is unheard of in the cartridge industry, and that's what sets Orchid apart from all the other cartridges. The customers have been blown away. They come back time and time again, no testing other cartridges, no trying other brands. As they keep bringing on new flavors and new brands, there's no doubt in my mind that Orchid is going to stay the top cartridge in our store. The quality of the Orchid cartridge is what sets it apart.
You'll notice in our cartridge design, we have silicone, glass, and the stainless steel. We don't use any kind of plastics or glues anywhere near our heating element. We wanted to address the battery power, the airflow, and the ability to wick oil into the vaporizing chamber. So we opened up the apertures, we increased the airflow, and we increased the battery power to where you can get a user experience that is unlike anything else that's on the market.
When I look at it, when you look like the 3 tiers of product, Orchid's at the top of that. When you look at things like vape pens, a lot of it's aesthetics, and Orchid's a cool pen. Everyone loves the product, but our soccer moms really love the product. I mean, it's a classy brand. In Orchid's short period that they've come back into our shop, they're already top 2 in the shop. You want to work with a vendor that can keep you in stock consistently, that can support you from marketing materials, that can support you from inventory levels. They've been able to do that. They're a very responsible organization, and they have very strong beliefs in what the customer experience should be like, and no different than what the retail experience should be like. And for that reason, I mean, we'll continue to work with Orchid as long as they're around. I'm completely confident in that.
A lot of the big cannabis companies out there are making a lot of acquisitions and investments that are very large, that are revenue that's 4 or 5 years down the road, yet it's being priced into their stock already. With our company, it's not. We make these acquisitions that we're making, it's adding immediate revenue, which will then be reflected in our stock price and the way I see that it should be, off of revenues today, not revenues 4 or 5 years down the road, and paying a premium to invest into that. So I see that what we're doing is building an organization that is more in line with what we see in other industries on the capital markets, not this inflation of the green rush or the big cannabis boom, but building a real business, building an organization that's going to be here for decades to come.